Hello and welcome back to Lord Fenton Gaming Plays Neverwinter Night 2 Complete. I'm your host Lord Fenton. In this Neverwinter Night 2 build video, we're doing the Fighter and Druid build. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more Neverwinter Night 2 builds like this. Do not forget to hit that notification bell so be updated much more. So what are the pros and cons of this build? Pros, Druid magic, very powerful stuff. Number 2, you'll be able to equip all the weapons and armor in the game. Number 3, your ammo companion with this build is going to be a dino, which is very powerful. Now, we're going to have some good feats. That's another advantage as well, too. Your will saves and fortitude saves are going to be really high, especially will saves. So those instant death spells, yeah, they're not going to connect to you that much. Con this build, you're never going to become powerful like a pure druid in magic, nor be powerful in melee like a pure fighter. And last but not least, it'll take some time to get those epic spells. So let's go over the races first. Now it's time to definitely go over the races. So let's start with the dwarves. Now Gold Dwarf, they're actually pretty decent for this build, just -2 dex. So your reflex saves will suffer a bit. You want to go that route, that's fine for a little bit more hit points. Now Grey Dwarfs are actually pretty good, just -4 charisma, and downsides you have to level up probably much more longer than the other dwarves. Shield dwarfs are actually pretty good, -2 charisma, but the constitution's there, so you don't have to worry about negative dex. Now let's go over the elves, so let's go over that. Drow, this is actually a good race. Only downside is of course -2 constitution, but they get everything else there. Just wish a little bit more wisdom, but that's alright. Moon elves are pretty good, just -2 constitution is the downside, but you get a little bit boost in dex. Now, Sun Elves, just +2 intelligence. I say more for casters, really. Wild Elves, they're okay. They're actually good for this, just -2 intelligence you got to worry about. Now, Wood Elves, they're actually fine for this, just only downside is -2 constitution and intelligence, but that strength and dex is very nice if you want to go a little bit more melee with this build. Gnomes, I'm going to say Deep Gnomes are good for the wisdom and the dex, but the strength and charisma, yeah, that's the downside, especially the strength, and you have to equip weapons, like for example, scimitar with a two-handed instead of one. Rock Gnomes, I'd probably say hard pass. As for both halfling races, I'm going to say hard pass too, besides the weapon disadvantage like the gnomes. It's just -2 strength. It's kind of like a deal breaker. But dex is good though if you want to go more dexterous route. But the other halfling, they give you one feat free. Now half elves, there's no positive negatives for ability scores, so pick your flavor if you want to go that route. They're pretty decent for it. Now, half orcs, if you want a little bit more strong druid-like character or fighter side, yeah, this is it here. Just -2 intelligence and charisma sucks. Humans, no ability scores ups and down. You get a free feat and 4 extra skill points when you start out. So you do a fighter, that is total of 3 free feats. Planar touch, this is actually a good race. Asimirs, what is the wisdom's there and the charisma, especially the wisdom, I would definitely take. A little bit longer level, it's worth it. Tieflings are actually good. Downside is just charisma, but the other two are great. Now, all the elemental ones, except for water, maybe, I say pass, a hard pass. Water is good, though, for a little bit more tanky. Fire druid, if you want to go that route, really. Now, Yuan-Ti Pureblood, that's actually good. Just take a little bit longer level, but they get some free feats, which is nice. Now, Grey Orcs this time is actually real good because the strength and wisdom is up there. Just intelligence and charisma will suffer. Just boost up a little bit of intelligence, but your strength and wisdom is up there. So my final advice is probably going to be human, wood elf, let's see here, Asimirs, and Grey Orcs. I'm going to pick the Angel Touch class or Deity Touch class to go ahead. So here's the deal. We're going to start off as a Fire, then Druid, then go back to Fire, then Druid, and until 2 levels on the non-epics and 2 epic levels as a Fire, then rest of it is a Druid. So it's pretty easy to follow. Just 2 classes we're going to focus on big time. So let's talk about alignment next. This one's important this time. Now, alignment, you have to be, let's see here, neutral, neutral evil, or neutral good in order to be a druid. So I'd probably say it's true neutral if you don't want to be smite at all, I should say. Now, for deity, this is just for RPG flavor. Sylvanas, to me, is the best way to go. If you want to pick some other deity, that is fine, but Sylvanas, I feel like that's perfect in my mind for a deity. Now, for ability scores, this is real simple. We're going to put strength up to 16 and then stop there. Now, dexterity, constitution, intelligence is 12, and I did intelligence 12, so this way I get a little more skill points. It'll be a little bit more help. So, as for wisdom, we're going to get that sucker to 18. You could go for 16 if you cannot get to 18, that's fine. Charisma, you just leave it at 10. We're going to focus all on wisdom though, so everything will definitely go into wisdom. Let's go to the next one. Now for background, I'll probably say devout. Let's see here, militia, natural leader, and that's probably about it. If you want to play it safe, no background's the perfect way to go with this build. Now for skills, for now I'm going to probably say craft weapons and armor, then store your points. And if you don't like any talking skills, we'll talk about that when we level up the druid. So let's go to feats. Now since we're a fighter, we get to pick 2 feats. Now if, for instance, on your 3rd feat, I'll probably say power attack. But for your 1st feat should be your weapon focus. I'm going to pick this blade here since it does critical hit a lot more, 2 times worth of damage, but it's very good with this build. And besides, you kind of feel like Jaheira from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and even 3 if you go that route. And there's all your armor, there's your resistance if you're a race, and there's other racial stuff as well too. Now we're going to pick our 2nd feat. It's going to be Luck of the Heroes. This will give you bonus and save throws and 1 armor class. You could did this one Spellcasting Prodigy, but I felt like the Luck of the Heroes is the best way to go. Yeah, looks like I hit an old bug here, folks. Oh no, there it is. So anyways, that 1 extra AC starting out helps out great. And the extra saving throws is perfect, especially if you really have some high wisdom saving throws, which is very nice. Let's go to the last advice. Okay, you're going to start out a little bit slow, but that's alright. But once you start get your spells in your feet, you're going to kick some serious booty. Now your dino will help you out big time tanking, so use that, then you cast, and then go in with your melee weapon, and that's it. And yes, you could cast with divine magic with full plate armor and of course tower shield, so that's a whole bunch of advantages there. That's about it for this section. Next up are the suggested druid spells. Here are some advice about the level 0 spells, summons, and anything else. Healing and resistance is the best level 0 spells to use, especially healing. You could use as a weapon against the undead or heal your party members. Very small, but it could save your life. Summons, use them as tanks and or to soften your foes. Remember, druids can swap spells in and out with each rest, so if there's a different situation, then you go ahead and swap some spells. So let's go to level 1 spells. Here's some level 1 spells again. Experiment as always. Cure Light Wounds can heal party members or damage the undead, so you can use this as a small nuke against the undead. Endure Elements can absorb 20 elemental damage. Deal on elemental damage is fire, cold, lightning, acid, or sonic counts as elemental. Remember that. So sleep puts on 1 to 4 hit dice foes to sleep. Above 5 hit dice foes are immune to it, so definitely remember that. This is a nice crowd control spell on the level 2. Now for this next level 2 spell, Bark Skin gives you at level 1 to 6 3 AC, 7 to 12 4 AC, 13 above 5 AC. This is a good protection spell you get to cast, so definitely want to start out with some protection spells like that, especially with this build. Lesser Dispel attempts to remove buffs from your target. Great to have, so do effect if some early on foes have some protection. Drop it with this spell, then go in with melee if you want to. Flame Weapon have 1d8 fire damage to your weapon. Very good. Now also go for buff spells are great too if no potions, so this way you get the proper stats you want to buff up. On to level 3 spells. Now for level 3 spells, let's see here. Call Lightning, 1d6 points of electric damage per caster level. Max is 10d6. Very powerful stuff. A foe enters the Call Lightning field. When you cast it, they get fried. Cure Moderate Wounds, better than, of course, Cure Light Wounds, can heal party members or used to harm the undead. That's some nice stuff to have for this level. Protection from Energy absorbs 40 points of elemental damage, so it's an upgrade from the previous one. Let's get to the last set of level 3 spells. Now, if you want to get real serious on buffing up your pet, DPS and more, the first one's Jagged Tooth. Can increase threat range on natural weapons. Hint, hint, your animal companion, basically. So they'll be able to critical hit more often than not, unless, of course, there are foes immune to that. Greater Magic Fang, +1 bonus to attack rolls for your animal companion. So this way, they're more likely to connect blows. Can increase +5 attack rolls, more in the Druid class. So let's talk about level 4 spells. Here we are for suggested level 4 spells. Dispel Magic, better version of Lesser Dispel Magic. Dispel a few buffs, so this is great to have. Dispel of tough foes buff, then go in melee or spells. Flame Strike does 1d6 fire damage and divine damage per caster level. Max is 15d6. That's some serious powerful stuff. Stone Skin absorbs 10 points of melee damage, lasts up to 100 points of damage, can stack with Premonition. Great stuff here, folks. Let's get to some more level 4 spells. Cure Serious Wounds. Better than moderate cure wounds. Can heal party members or harm the undead. That's some powerful stuff. Ice Storm, AoE spell that does 3d6 blunt damage. That's, of course, like, for example, getting hit with a mace. 2d6 cold damage additionally, plus 1d6 additional cold damage per cast level. Max is 15d6 cold damage. Very powerful stuff. Arc of Lightning. 2 foes will get, of course, 1d6 electrical damage. Max is 15d6. Any foes, I should say, between the other 2 foes will take half. This is some serious powerful stuff. Let's talk about level 5 spells. The first level 5 spell on the list you should definitely have in your spell book is Death Ward. Target is immune to death magic abilities, energy drain, like for example level drain, and negative energy that could damage you. Very powerful stuff. You cast on one person that's really vulnerable to that, have some good times with it, or even yourself. Cure critical wounds. Better than serious critical wounds, seriously. Can heal party members or damage the undead, your choice. Call Lightning Storm, AoE spell that does 1d6 electric damage per caster level, max is 15d6. So this is another one of those type of spells you want to use against foes. Like for example, if they're immune to ice, go to, of course, electric. Let's go over more level 5 spells. Owl's Insight can grant up to 12 wisdom to a target for 24 hours. For a divine caster, yeah, guess what? Abuse it! Seriously, buff yourself with it. Slay living. Non-undead targets must make a 4/2 saving throw or die instantly. Very powerful stuff. Target, if they survive, gets, of course, 3d6 plus 1 damage per caster level if the saving throw is made. Other buffs, like for example, restoration and curing type of spells, you want to have as well too. Now on to the level 6 spells. The very first level 6 spell you want is Drown. Living targets not with Iron Body ability or so will take 90% HP damage. So you drop them down to 10 HP, they're easier to kill. Undead constructs and elementals are 100% immune to this, so be cautious on those foes. You'll waste a spell slot if you cast Drown on those types. Greater Dispel Magic. Best Dispel Magic in the Dispel Magic line in the entire game. You get to dispel a whole bunch of magic. Only thing that's more powerful than that is Mordecai's Disjunction spell, and that's for arcane casters. Energy immunity. Target is immune to one energy type of damage for 24 hours. So if a foe, like for example, likes to cast ice magic, then go for immune to cold. Let's go for more level 6 spells. Next up is Tortoise Shell. Target gets 6 to 9 AC depending on Druid class level. Now here's the downside of it. You move very slowly, but you get a lot of AC, so this is great to have. Regenerate. Target can regenerate 10% of their HP. More HP they have, more health they get to heal up. Very good emergency heal. Use other spells if you find them helpful that I didn't list, so as always, experiment. On to level 7 spells. Now, for the first level 7 spell, Creeping Doom. Swarms that has a base attack of +6, more depending on cast level. They hit more often than not. Can do 2d6 damage when hit when in the field, so every time someone stays in it, they take 2d6 worth of damage. Now, here's the deal. If you extend the spell, it's broken. Unfortunately, this build won't have that, but still, I want to point that out. Heal heals 150 points of damage on the living, or does 150 points of damage on undead unless they make a certain saving throw and they only take 50%. OP stuff against the undead, great against the heal the living as well. Harm, damage living with 150 hit points of damage, 50% damage if saving throws, heals the undead. So these two spells I mentioned are very nice. More level 7 spells. Firestorm does 1d6 damage per caster level, max is 20d6 damage. Damage type is Fire Divine, so if someone resists either or, they take half of that damage. If not, full on damage, some powerful stuff. Sunbeam, undead takes 1d6 divine damage per caster level, max is 20d6. Now, rest of your targets will only take 3d6 damage if they're not undead, can be blind for 3 rounds. This is one of the ultimate undead clearing spells. The next level is much more potent. True Seeing can spot stealthy and hidden foes. Great to pop out stealthers, so pop it on yourself or a party member. Spot a stealthing rogue, go ahead and kill him or her. Now let's go to level 8 spells. Now, these are a doozy, so there's more level 8 spells you want to try out, go for it. Finger of Death. Living target must make a fortitude save or die instantly. So, save targets take 3d6 plus 1 damage per caster level, so it could go up to, with this build, 22 plus damage. Very powerful stuff. Sunburst, 1d6 per caster level against the undead, 26d6 damage max. Now, this is very some powerful stuff against the undead. Now, here's an additional bonus against a certain undead called the vampires. They must make a saving throw, reflex, or die instantly. Now, living only takes 3d6 damage in total. This is the ultimate FU to undead foes. This will take them out just like that. Storm Avatar, you gain 200% speed, 3d6 plus melee damage, and you're immune to knockdown. This is like one of the ultimate type of tanking spell. Premonition absorbs 10 points of damage per caster level before it goes bye-bye. Lasts 20 plus 1 hours per caster level. Some powerful buffing stuff there. The last set of spells are level 9 spells. Nature's Avatar. Animal Companion gets plus 10 attack rolls, 1 through 6 extra hit points, and they get haste. This is a very nice buff for your Animal Companion. Go ahead and abuse it, like for example with your dino. Elemental Swarm summons 20 hit dice elementals to fight for you. One goes, another 26 hit dice goes in its place. It'll go so on and so forth with each elemental, which is earth, fire, wind, and water. Good summoning spell to have, one of the best. Mass Death Ward, just like the version of Death Ward, but it's AoE, spreads out through your party. Powerful stuff here, folks, to buff with. Mass Drown. This is like the Drown spell, but it's more AoE. So see a whole bunch of living foes, they lose 90% of their hit points. Now, again, if you're a construct, undead, or elemental, you're immune to this. Now, next up is Store of Vengeance, the ultimate druid spell to use against all your targets. AoE spell that does the following: 3d6 acid damage, 3d6 electric damage, can stun your targets. If they stay in the field, they'll take a lot of damage. Like I said, OP stuff. That's it for spells. Let's go ahead and level up our character. First thing we're going to go ahead and do is level up with the Druid class to get that out of the way, get the spell set up. So I'm going to go ahead and put points in concentration 5. And then, of course, let's see here, diplomacy. If you don't like diplomacy, spellcraft or tumble's the way to go. Now, pick any ammo you want. I'm going to go ahead and pick a panther. Now, too bad there's no apes, but oh well, I'll take what I'll take. Now, this will be temporary for the Druid class until we get the Dino. Yes, we're getting a Dino pet for this build. Now, we'll go ahead from here on out, level up the fire from 2 to 4, starting off with level 2. So we're going to focus at this time to get some fire-related feats and such. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's see here. I'm going to do is craft weapons and armor for now, and I'll leave it there. So we're going to go ahead and get 2 feats. First feat we're going to get is power attack. So power attack is you do plus 3 more damage. However, your hit rolls, aka attack rolls, take a -3. Good change off. Now, next up, we're going to go ahead and do is Able Learner. So all your cross-class skills from here on out will be only one point to you instead, too. So this is some powerful stuff. Since we're going back and forth between the Druid and Fire class, I might as well take advantage of that. So let's keep on going with the Fire class. We're at level 3 now. For the fighter, character level 4. Every 4 level, you should get yourself a ability point. Put all points into Wisdom. It'll boost up our Druid spells. So now I'm going to go ahead and do his concentration, max that out. Let's see here, a little bit of diplomacy. We'll leave that there for now. Or I'll just take 1 point from concentration, put in spellcraft. It depends on what you want to do. Either way, those will get caught up. Don't worry about that. So there, so we're all set. Now we'll level up once again with the fire class last time though. So let's see here, concentration. Let's see here, spellcraft. We'll do that. Let's go ahead and pick a feat. So let's see here. Let's do weapon specialization. You get plus 2 damage with said weapon. And this will help you out greatly. So we'll get a little bit oomph with our weapon of choice. So we'll do that. So we're done here. Now we're going to focus on Druid for quite a bit. Now, I'm saving the 4 fire levels close towards the end. The non-epic levels, start of the epics. But for now, we're doing Druid. So let's go ahead and get our Druid to level 2. So we'll pick, let's see here, craft weapons and armor, concentrations And let's see here, spellcraft and diplomacy. We got the dino, so our dino will be much more powerful than our normal animals, which is some good stuff. Now, woodland stride is when you're outside or in the forest in a nature area, you get 10% bonus in movement speed. Now, for a druid like this, that's very powerful stuff, especially you're in full plate. I'm going to go ahead and name it. Let's see here. Purple. That's a good name. Let me go ahead and type that in. Okay, let's get rid of that one. Yeah, that's a little bit of a tip off from a certain movie. It's not blue, but you get the point. So let's level up our druid. Once again, druid's going to be level 3. There you go. So again, concentration, craft weapons and armor, diplomacy, and another thing is spellcraft. We'll get those in there. So we'll get 5 points total. That's why I have 12 intelligence for it. Now, this trackless step, this will basically help you being stealthy in the wilderness, I should say. If you're into that, but yeah, we're more of a fire type of character instead of rogue. Otherwise, a rogue druid would fit nicely with that. Plus 1 level of Shadow Dancer. Now we're character level 8, so every level's a 4. Put your points into wisdom. So we have plus 5 modifier with wisdom. So this is all good. Our will save will definitely be up there. And our divine spells, some of them starting to be a little bit potent thanks to some wisdom mods. You'll see down the line. So put your points in usual suspects. And there you go. This one here is resist nature's lure. This gives you protection against, you guessed it, fear spells and abilities. So this is very nice though for that. So if you need protection against fear, yeah, that's the way to go. Now let's keep on going. So let's go ahead and do that. There you have it for a druid. Concentration, craft weapons and armor, diplomacy, even though that's optional, you want to go for it, that's fine. And spellcraft, no diplomacy, tumble's the way to go. Now we get wild shape, but we're not going to wild shape with this build because we have plate armor, so that's good enough. Now we're going to do a spell penetration is, so against foes, we get a +2 bonus against their spells versus their resistance. No, more like our spells versus their resistance. Sorry about that. So your spells will have a slight advantage against your foe's defense against certain magic. Unless they're immune to it, then you're kind of screwed there. Well, let's go ahead and do the druid again. So that's concentration, the craft weapons and armor, diplomacy, and of course spellcraft. Every 5 levels for spellcraft, we give ourselves saving throws against spells and more wild shape usage. But again, we're not using that. Let's go druid. So let's go ahead and do concentration. You guessed it, the usual suspects. You don't like diplomacy, like I suggested. Tumble's the way to go. Another wild shape usage. So we'll keep on going. Let's do druid. Every level of 4, there you go. So let's go ahead and do wisdom. So we have 21 wisdom. You should be at 18, more like 19 to 21, really. Just put the skills like I am, and there you go. And let's see here. We get ourselves another feat. So we're going to build our caster size some more. So greater spell penetration instead +2. Bonus against spellcaster's defense. When we cast magic against them, we get +4. So we get to do a little bit more damage against them. Instead of them resisting damage, they take a lot more. So let's do the druid again. Okay, there you go. Let's go ahead and do that. And there. Okay, venom immunity. So you're immune to all types of poison. Magical, natural, or someone attempt to poison you with a dagger. So there you go. So that's it. So if you find any items that has immune to poison, give it to someone else. You don't need it no longer because you're a druid. So let's keep on going with the druid. Let's go ahead and put the 5 there. Again, I'll say diplomacy, you don't like it, pick something else. And we get another wild shape. If you look for wild shapes, type of builds, I have it on the channel somewhere. Let's go with druid once more. There you go. Let's see here. Just put the 5, the 1 point in each of the 5 skills. Now we get ourselves another feat to pick. And this one is, let's see here. I was about to do toughness. If you want to go that route, that's fine. I'd rather do this for this type of build. Where is it? Practical spellcaster druid. So we get a +4 advantage on checks and such against our enemies. So, oh no, more like caster level. I'm sorry. Yeah, +4 caster level on our foes with that. So, like for example, we're level 10 druids, we'll be acting like it for a level 14 spellcaster against them. Okay, wisdom. Put your points on wisdom since it's level 16. So let's keep on going. They use the points there. And we get plant wild shape. We're not going to use any wild shapes, otherwise I'll go in greater detail. Okay, everyone, druid again. Let's go ahead and do that. There, and just check and make sure. We'll put our points into there. Okay, there you go for the skills. Just do like I did. And that's it. No feats at all. Very sorry. So let's go ahead and do this with the Druid. Okay, there you go. Concentration, craft weapons and armor, diplomacy, and spellcraft. And now we got another wild shape, which I'm not going to care about. Spell focus evocation. I'm going to do another one is conjuring, so I'd rather do evocation. So we get advantage against foes when we cast evocation spells, which is some good stuff. So that's about it for this level. Now we'll go back to the fire class for 2 more levels, last of the non-epic levels in this section. So let's start off with fire level 5. So let's go ahead and do that first. So let's see here. Let's make sure. I'm just going to double check. There you go. Don't want to do any mistakes. Take your time when you're leveling up, as always. So there. So this time I'm going to do is concentration. And I'm going to go ahead and just... I could do craft weapons and armor. I'm just going to go ahead and just say concentration. Let's put a point there. Diplomacy and, of course, spellcraft. So our craft weapon and armor is going to suffer a bit, but that's all right. Sorry, no feats. Sometimes fire levels are like that. Fire level one more time. So this last time of the non-epic level is going to put a point in the wisdom. So we have 23 wisdom. You should have 21 if you're, of course, didn't start off with 18 wisdom. Just put the points in the 3, and that should do it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and see. What we're going to do is improve critical. So improve criticals like this, it drops your threat range. So for instance, with a long sword, you normally get 19 through 20 with critical hits. Now 17 through 20, there's other modifiers that'll do that as well, which is there's one for the weapon master drops that even further, and the Kina effect on your weapons or on your self does it as well too. Now we're in the epic level, so we're going to go ahead and finish off first the fire class with that. But anyways, here's my point. See, our weapon I picked is usually 18 to 20. Now it's 15 through 20. We'll be rolling the dice to get a critical hit on that. Okay, let's go back to leveling up. Always forget about the showing the weapons and the critical hits on that. Fighter, let's do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the 3. So this last time I'm going to use 3 skill points for that. Okay, there's epic levels, or I say epic character. It just tells you that. Congratulations. Now, I'm going to go ahead first is do Epic Proudness, so it gives us +1 to all attacks. Or say, all attacks and such. So this, in other words, we get edge on our attack rolls per round, so that's good. And let's go ahead and level up the fighter one more time. Now, see, that'll be level 8 for the fighter. We're going to go ahead and get a feat out of it. Now, let's go ahead and do that. There you go. Put all the points like I am. Now, the feat in question we're going to get is Greater Weapon Focus. Now, this does is give you additional +1 bonus to attack rolls. So, in other words, you'll be hitting more often with your weapon than not. More chances to hit. When it connects, more damage you do. So, that's about it. So, let's go ahead and level up the Druid next. For the rest of this build, we're going to do the Druid levels. So, let's start off with Druid level 15. We'll get into epic levels with the Druid. So, let's see here. Concentration, craft weapons and armor, diplomacy, and spellcraft. There you go. So now we get to pick some feats. Now there's one particular I want to pick. That is, where is it at? Greater Wisdom. This will give us +1 Wisdom. So if you don't do this, you will have, I should say, 25 Wisdom, and you're going to miss out on a modifier. So instead, we're going to put a +1 there. So at level 28, you should have your 24 to 26 Wisdom, depending on what race you start out with. Okay, let's go ahead and do character level 24, so it'll be 25 wisdom. Level 28, that will even it out, so don't panic. Let's go ahead and put all the skills there. I'm doing, and that's it there. Elemental shape, we're not going to, again, use wild shape. Our character's strong enough for that. Alright, just put in the 5, just like I did for the skills. Yeah, we're going through this real quick. So let's see here. Now we're going to focus on doing some spell damage from here on out, so... Now, I'm looking for is greater spell focus evocation. So we have an edge with evocation spell against our enemies, which is very nice indeed. So we'll be much more powerful, and there's some good evocation spells with the Druid class to soften your foes. Now, you don't like the evocation stuff and spell focus, and then, of course, go for the epic damage on weapons and such. So let's keep on going. There you go. Let's select that. And we get more elemental shapes and wild shape, which we're not going to use. So let's level up. There you go. Let's do the Druid again. So let's keep at it and keep on going. So there you go. We get another feat. I'm going to go ahead and start building up our epic spells and such. So let's see here. Let's do is I could have did the epic spells like Mass Foul or something like that, but I'm going to focus on epic spell penetration and replace the other two. But we get a +6 bonus against our targets with spell resistance, so we get do more damage against them if they have certain resistance there. If it's immune to a certain type, you're screwed again. So let's do the Druid. So last time put an ability score there. We're going to do his Wisdom. So you should either have 24 or 26 Wisdom. I have 26. So our modifier's up there. So put the points like I have. More elemental shapes, but we're not going to use that. Let's level up to a level 29 for the character. And let's do the Druid. Put the skills like I am. And there you go. And now what we're going to go ahead and do is epic spell focus, which is evocation. So well, it'll do is give us +3 bonus with evocation spells to replace the other two, and we'll do a little bit more damage and have an edge against foes with evocation spells, and that's it. Now we get to character level 30, so Druid level 22. Put the skills like I am this last time to do it, and that should be it there. That's it for leveling up our characters from 2 to 30. Next up is Gear of Ice. Now for gear, let me go ahead and explain about the attributes on gear in Neverwinter Nights 2. In order to get a +10 Wisdom, for example, you must have the item as +10 Wisdom. So if you have a, for instance, +8 Wisdom item and a +2 Wisdom item, it'll only accept the +8 Wisdom one, so plan accordingly. So first of all, make sure you get your Wisdom up there, and definitely Strength, since those are two main stats on those. Then of course Constitution and Dex is fine on that as well. Make sure you definitely go for any immunities except for poison, since you're immune to that. As for skills, definitely go for Spellcraft if you can. Go for anything else for more concentration. As for saving throws, if you're lacking reflex saves, get some more reflex save items and such as well too. Now with this build with a +5 full plate and of course a tower shield and other factors, I have 40 AC. That's about it for gear advice and more. Next up is combat demonstration. Now for combat, you're a spellcaster first, and then of course frontline fire second. So good idea softening foes up, then of course run on the front lines if you need to damage some foes. So let's go ahead and face off against a group of orcs. I'm going to put the quick cast bar there. Let's go ahead and do a raiding party. They've been bugging us, so let's go ahead and soften them up with the Storm of Vengeance. I probably should do something else, but either way, after you soften them up, another good spell is of course Arc of Lightning. This way you'll hit, of course, if I remember right, 2 or more foes. So it's another good alternative there. Now if you keep your foes that are not immune to critical hits in that storm, then you can finish them off with melee. And yes, you can do critical hits against them, especially with the weapon type I have. So we're done with this part. Now what about the undead? Since they're immune to critical hits, no problem at all. In fact, we have some anti-undead spells since we're divine casters. 2 sun types, so I'm going to go ahead and cast this first one. And boom. Now that was Sunburst, and the other one I'll cast too. Now another thing I do like with fighting against the undead is using the heal spell, like for example against this Lich. Where are you at? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. While our dino is living for a long time and taking out foes and tanking them, we're wrecking the Lich as well with the heal spell. And that's about it for combat demonstration. So here's some final advice before I do end this build. You're going to start off real slow until you get a lot more druid spells. Then, of course, you couple that with your fire feats. You're going to become powerful. When you, of course, you get those spells against the undead and such, you're going to wreck everything. And your summons, for instance, will get up there too. So this way they'll help out your ammo companion. Your ammo companion will be like level 21, 22. Other than that, though, you're going to be very fierce front line if you buff your character right as well too, and get the right weapons and such. So you can be very powerful with your spells, and you can soften them up by finishing them off. This is it for my Neverwinter Nights 2 complete fire and druid build video. This is Lord Fenton signing off. Thank you for watching, and have a great day or night, and do please stay safe. Please subscribe to my channel for more Neverwinter Nights 2 builds and content just like this. If you like what you see, then pick my suggestion on the upper left hand corner or YouTube suggestion on the bottom left hand corner. Definitely enjoy the view and music, everyone.